Hey guys, this is Lorenzo Network here, and welcome to the first episode of Gaming's Finest. This is a show where I'll be covering arcade games and talking about their history and reception and the sequels of their games. So in the first episode, we will be covering one of the best arcade games of all time. What is that? And it's also personally one of my favorite video game, if not my favorite video game franchises of all time. What is that? Pac-Man. You all knew that. Pac-Man was released in 1980 by Namco and distributed by Midway in the US, along with Rally X. So basically, it was originally called Pac-Man in Japan, but it had some changes. I'll tell you later. Basically, the plot of this game is that you control Pac-Man. Yee! Let's go! To eat all of the pellets while running away from the ghosts that are trying to eat him. But luckily for Pac-Man, there are power pellets in the corner, and if he eats one, the ghosts will turn blue and vulnerable, and you can eat them, which you are probably seeing now. But the ghost doesn't stay dead. It comes right back to haunt Pac-Man. So Pac-Man better be careful. He better eat. He gotta eat and run. The controls on Pac-Man are moved to be up, down, left, and right on the joystick, or on any controller possible if it's a port. So yeah. Also, not to mention, there are fruit icons at the bottom numbering each round. And also, there are also fruits in the game that you can actually pick up. And it appears in the middle of the stage when Pac-Man is eating a certain number of pellets. If he eats one, you'll get bonus points. So yeah. And you can also reward extra lives if you go on, if the difficulty setting is like, yeah. So the lives in this game are numbered to 3 or 5. The ghosts have noble personalities in this game, which I will explain when we get to the character section in the video. So yeah. So that's the plot. So basically, I love Pac-Man. It's a great game, and it's a very fun game, and I enjoy it much as I get older. So yeah, and it's a true timeless classic that everyone remembers. So yeah. Also, not to mention, there's these few intermissions when you get to the first 2 rounds where intermissions where Pac-Man and Blinky. So this game has like 5 characters, and they're all goofy as possible. So we'll go through them one by one. Okay, so first up is obviously Pac-Man. Nobody can deny that.
Well, my name is Mr. Pac-Man. The Pac-Man that saves Pac-Man.
Pac-Man is a happy-go-lucky guy and is the game's main character. No crap. So, basically, Pac-Man is a very nice guy that saves Pac-Lane. He's kind of stupid, but kind of an idiot that means well. He's very joyful, very happy to help, and everything like that. He has a beautiful wife named Miss Pac-Man that he loves. But Miss Pac-Man is a sequel to Pac-Man and has her own game. But we'll get to that in another episode. Wink. Also, Pac-Man has quite an appetite, which means he loves to eat. That's why in Pac-Man he eats every pellet that he can, which is basically a crap ton of them. So yeah, he loves to eat. You all know that. Now let's move on to the ghosts, which are the bad guys in the game. We're first starting off with the red ghost, Blinky. Blinky is a selfish, rude, and kind of an asshole, and plays dirty to get ahead. He thinks that the world is unfair, so you do it to get at it, no matter what.
And deviance is what's necessary to an honest living, and these days no corruption and bad business antics go on.
Blinky hates Pac-Man, like really hates him. So he gets his crew and himself to get Pac-Man whenever he wants to, and how much he can, or they can, I don't know. So yeah, that's why in the rest of the series he's kind of angry and catches Pac-Man any way as possible. His goal in the game is to chase Pac-Man, which basically get on his tail the entire way through. Next is Inky. He is the craziest and silliest ghost of the game, and is very loyal to Blinky. His main goal in the game is to chase Pac-Man like crazy, like go all around the maze trying to catch him. So that's why he's kinda crazy all the time, and is kinda goofy and silly in some ways. Most of people see Inky as a coward, but I don't think so, because he chases Pac-Man like crazy in the mazes, and he goes crazy everywhere. So yeah. But there is a coward in the Ghost game, which I will talk about in a moment. Next is Pinky.
Yay! I love Hello Kitty!
Pinky is a pink happy ghost that mostly just ambushes Pac-Man. However, for a different reason. Pinky actually simps for Pac-Man and doesn't want to hurt him in any way, and has a crush on him, which basically means kinda simping. And if you think about it, Pinky won't get off Pac-Man's butt, but I would not say Pinky is evil. He's actually really nice. And Pac-Man says that Pinky is the only one he's scared about, since it's confirmed in a Pac-Man Plus Show movie that Pac-Man says that he is scared of Pinky. And the reason why? Pac-Man says that she would not get off his ass. And yeah, Pac-Man thinks her as an annoyance. And finally we have Clyde.
What is it, Blinky? But since it's Christmas Eve, I know this plan is gonna be stupid enough as it.
Clyde is easily the worst member of the Ghost Gang, and let me explain why. He's a scared coward that is scared of Pac-Man chomping him. That's it. And every time Clyde says stuff to Blinky's plans making sense that it doesn't work, Blinky just straight up spits on him and say, "Hey, shut up, dude." So yeah. So basically his goal in Pac-Man is basically just trying to find Pac-Man, even though he's like pretty much a coward and is scared of him. So that covers all of the characters in the game. Now let's move on to the game's release. And man, it's a wild story. So Pac-Man had a very wild release of the development. So basically, I'm just going to be reading this off Wikipedia because, yeah, most of the information is used there. So location testing for Pac-Man began on May 22nd, 1980 in Shibuya, Tokyo, to a relative positive fanfare from players. A private showing of the game was done in June, followed by a nationwide release in July. Eyeing the game's success in Japan, Namco initialized plans to bring the game to an international market, particularly the US. Before showing the game to distributors, Namco America made a number of changes, such as altering the names of the ghosts. The biggest of these was the game's title. Executives at Namco were worried that vandals would change the P in Pac-Man to an F, forming Fuckman. Mayasa Nakamura chose to rename it to Pac-Man, which I feel is more comfortable, as he felt it was closer to the game's original Japanese title of Pac-Man. In Europe, the game was released under both titles of Pac-Man and Puckman. Puckman in Germany and Pac-Man for the rest of the world. When Namco presented Pac-Man and Rally X to potential distributors at the 1980 AMOA trade show in November, executives believed that Rally X would be the best-selling game of the year. According to Play Meter magazine, both Pac-Man and Rally X received wild attention at the show. Namco had initially approached to Atari to distribute Pac-Man, but Atari refused the offer. However, we'll talk about Atari later. Midway Manufacturing subsequently agreed to distribute both Pac-Man and Rally X in North America, and announcing their acquisition of the game manufacturing rights in November 22nd, and releasing them in December. So since Pac-Man was a huge success worldwide, it got many, and I mean many ports to home consoles, so we have a lot of work to do. I'll only be featuring a few of them because, well, yeah, that's gonna take forever. So yeah, the first port we're gonna take a look at is the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was first released at the Famicom in 1984. Along with the MSX version, which we will look at, and and then later in 1987 2 times by Tengen, and then one in 1993 officially from Namco themselves. Yeah, so basically the game looks pretty cool. And it's a nice accurate version by Namco of the arcade classic. So yeah, although the sounds are a bit off, but I still like it either way. The next port we're going to take a look at is the Atari 8-bit version. So the Atari 8-bit version looks really accurate to the arcade version. The NES version was pretty pleasing, I really like it, but the Atari 8-bit version knocks it out of the park. It has pretty good sound, although the ghosts look a little weird. But anyways, yeah, I like it. And it features the intermission screens. Yeah. The next port is the Commodore 64 version, also known as the C64. So basically, this version of Pac-Man is nearly identical to the Atari 8-bit version, but with that Commodore 64 goodness. And it completely just ditches the intermission screens. So yeah, go look with that. So basically, this port was ported 2 times, one by Atari Soft and one by Thunder Mountain with this sick-ass box art. And yeah, I just feel like it's a good port, and it's nearly identical to the Atari 8-bit version, but who cares. The next version of Pac-Man is the MSX version, which was also released 2 times. One by Namco in Japan, and one by this absolutely weird company called Bug Bite Software that they released in Europe for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, the MSX version of Pac-Man looks nearly identical to the NES version, but which I guess it makes sense because, I mean, most of the Namco MSX games which looked like their Famicom NES counterparts and stuff like that. But anyways, this version of Pac-Man plays pretty good, and it sounds pretty good, and it looks pretty good with all that neonish colors. Also, the ghosts have no squares in this version. That's okay because this is the MSX. So yeah, I see it overall as a pretty good version. Next is the Game Boy version, which sucks, and is the Game Gear version that was released by Namco, and it's pretty much better than the Game Boy version. I'm just gonna say it right now. So that covers all of the ports of Pac-Man. So that concludes this episode of Gaming's Finest. I had a fun blast with this one. And Pac-Man was a huge success. Pac-Man was a huge success. It got merchandise, cereal, pasta, it got food, it got tons of sequels, I can tell you that right now. Yeah, with all those things out of the way, I'm happy about it. But all we need is a movie. I wish we got a movie of Pac-Man. We already got Mario movie, and Sonic, and Pokemon, but we never got Pac-Man. I'm pretty sure we never will. Yeah! Yeah, let's go! Yeah! Yeah, why not? Let's